Hey, my name's Shawnshawn. I sell art on shawnshawn.co. Today we're going to react to Tugce Dumpinar. So kind of interesting name. I think it's going to be hard for viewers to catch on, but if it's your name, your name. So looking at the YouTube channel, she has a nice little detail shot of one of her paintings, so you know she's a painter right off the bat. It doesn't say painter off the top. You could add maybe your profile and painter, maybe if they're doing painting classes or what's kind of the point of the channel, kind of a summary. That might be a nice little add to it. She has a profile shot of herself that's pretty recognizable, good detail. It's close enough, like that size should be what you want because it shrinks down to that small on your phone, so you want that size. For her links, she has Instagram, she has TikTok and Etsy, so TikTok is obviously very popular. I recommend it for artists, but I don't do it myself because it goes through the Chinese party and they tend to do whatever they want with that data, and kind of they can track you on across all different platforms, so that can be kind of dangerous with your personal information. And let's get to the rest. She has an intro video. So one of her latest intro videos is one of her latest painting tutorials. I think that's a strong start. She has videos, painting all, and then she has popular videos. I'd probably revert that, because if most of your views are probably 90% new, you probably want your popular videos come up first, because then they'll tend to watch more and increase your watch time. I think that's a strong way to start. After that, she has some of her shorts, shorts are really blowing up. I'd encourage people to just do as many as possible. I'm getting a lot of traction right now. I don't know how long it'll last. Eventually they'll probably not promote shorts as well as they are right now, but that could change. So your time to get in is now, I'd say. So going to the first video, this is called Studio Ghibli Landscape Painting Himi Jelly Gouache Unboxing New Sketchbook. That's a wordful. So I like this. She kind of has like a start of like a philosophy to start her painting. It's kind of a cool way to start. Looks like it's a little bit of log style. Starting kind of establishing the scene, like where she lives. Got a little garden, a little mountainside. So this kind of ASMR point where you got like a focus on the sound and opening all your tools, which kind of creates a lot of good story elements, I would say. I think I'd do a personal intro though, with like headshot talking to the camera. But this style does work as well. I like this a lot. I just like to chill out and watch painting videos I've seen in the past, so kind of on the thing, which is better. I think the branding is stronger if you have yourself in it. I'm going to skip out a little bit, guys. So she has opening the paint. Really great detail zoom shot, and you got the ASMR feel with you got to hear the opening of the paint and all that. It's a whole crowd of that. I don't know why, but people really like that sound effect, so it always helps a lot to have a good microphone, have the mic as close as possible to these sounds to get these really detailed sound shots where you're opening the paint. She probably has it like literally this close. My mic is about, you know, maybe this far away, so it's pretty close, but ideally you'd have it as close as possible to get this kind of ASMR feel. Just gonna open all the paint. Let's get to the next step. Just gonna open a sketchbook. Get the brand name, I guess. I got that same knife, so highly recommend a knife. You can break it off into pieces as you go along, so you can reuse the sharp edge over and over and over again. Just gonna open that up. Let's get to the painting part. So a lot of watercolor, and I think she paints in gouache. Painters like to do this where they tape everything clean. I think this does make sense if you're doing it in a book like this, because that paint will go all over the place. I painted in a book like this, and you get paint all over the place, and it's super annoying because then you've ruined the next couple of pages, and then you just paint on them, but you got this paint spillage. So it's smart to do this if you're going to do this in a sketchbook. It's got nice brand new brushes, like there's not a speck of use on them. Really great detail shots. I guess you're gonna load that up. I'll skip ahead a little bit, guys. Let's get to the painting. Okay, here's the real painting. It's interesting she's using a brand new brush. I mean, here's another brand new brush. Like, who buys all brand new brush and starts painting, you know? It's like, I have like my brushes are used as hell, you know. I paint all over them. I mean, if you got a brand new brush, you got a brand new brush, but I like the kind of gritty feel of paint on the brush, you know. It's kind of looks like it's real versus it gets very highly stylized if you do it this way, where it's just like everything new is brand new, and you're like, not for 99% of painters. It just feels a little staged when you do it this way, but you know, to each their own. You know, you want to make it super clean. I think that's what she's after here. Again, great detail shots. I think that's really good, solid methodology. You're going to get a lot more viewer count if you got these great detail shots, zooms, and obviously great, beautiful background music. But I don't think it's that hard to get the background music. It's really those detail shots going to make it. Changing up your camera angle. So let's skip ahead a little bit more, guys. Get more detail into here. I like her style too. It's kind of the color fields really stand out against each other. There's not too much blend. It's like a light green, then a dark green, and a darker green, a light blue, a darker blue. So just really clean colors where they don't blend as much. I mean, this green she's obviously blending here. There, I think you have to blend it just because it wouldn't make sense per se to have fields of bushes and stuff that don't blend. Let's skip ahead a little bit more, guys. This is closer to the end. You can see she has a really great layering effect. I like her technique of this really solid layering effect. That for landscape painting, I think that's a really strong way to work. Some people paint in the background later, which you can do, but it's just kind of challenging because then you have to cover it again with, like, if you get a little bit of sky and it overrides your tree line, then you have to do the tree line, and then the bushes have to go on top of that, etc. So if you can work clean from the back all the way to the front, I think it's the strongest way to work. So really cool technique. Let's skip to the very end here. You're kind of the finalized product. I like it. She has just a little bit of punch of orange there. And look how super clean this is. This is just insane. You can literally just cut this out and use it. So it's really smart as far as being able to reuse this later if you want to cut it out and sell that painting on its own. Very, very, very solid. Very beautiful painting, I'd say. And a nice detailed zoom around. So let's go on to the next painting, guys. I think we get a point of that. This one's called Studio Ghibli Arete Scene Painting with Jelly Gouache. I love gouache. That sound is awesome. Just from that one painter I saw back in the day, he said gouache. So again, you have this cool buildup of, with the sketchbook and kind of playing around with things. She jumped into it right away. She didn't really have that, outside my building kind of feel to it. And she's kind of skipping around a little bit, so it's more just cut. She's made several cuts, so you kind of jump to the painting a little bit. It's really good too. She's showing the paint mixing. I think that adds a lot to the video. I don't do it myself, but I think it looks really good. Hi. Hello. It's interesting that some artists do this where they don't talk at all on the camera. They just have this beautiful videography. I mean, look how clean she works. It's crazy. Okay, so she's going to show us all her product. Let's get to a little bit more in here. I don't know if the first painting she did this or not with sketching it at first. She has them all open. Yeah, no shit, your palette's immaculate. Jesus Christ, bro. I've never seen the paints that clean. Some of these artists don't like this though. I love her detail shots. This is just so superb. But it's so funny, you walk this clean, you're like, do you really paint this clean? It just seems so unbelievable you paint this clean. And she just paints straight on the table too, which I was like, you don't have a protective, like something in the background? Like I use a cutting board under mine that you can use for other various projects. I think that's the way I paint. But it's always interesting to see these painters that are just so spotlessly perfect. I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit more, guys. I like how she has this really clean, you know, distinctions between the greens, the blacks, the browns. They're just very, very clean edges, which I really like that style for that. I think it's really strong. Really nice little details that she keeps adding here and there to kind of make it really pop. Little splotches and imperfections in the leaf. Let's skip ahead a little bit more here, guys. Oh, the leaves looks really good. It definitely looks like there's water on those leaves. These bricks are really nice. Kind of like in Italy, you'll see this a lot in Italy, Greece. You're gonna have these worn out buildings where you have bricks popping through. So I guess in Guash you have to mist it down. I really like this material though. It's really cool because it's kind of between watercolor and acrylic. Just really impressed with gouache. It just has this really nice feel to it. I like the liquidity too of the materials. It just seems like a really cool paint to work with. More detail shots. Skip ahead a little bit more, guys. Oh, these ads are killing me. Again, the really nice brush strokes, just kind of layering up those leaves, which is really nice. It's cool that she sketched it out ahead of time because you can get a really good feel for where you want to put your leaves, and you don't have to kind of screw around with it on the fly, which you could make a lot of mistakes if you do it on the fly. So it's good to kind of sketch that in, I think, ahead of time like she did. Let's skip ahead a little bit more, guys. Getting the really fine details of all the fine leaves and stuff to kind of really make it pop. But again, how does she keep the brushes that clean? My brushes of paint like all speckled through that top. I was like, I wouldn't have one clean brush unless I didn't use it, so. Very, very cutesy, very nice look. I mean, very syllable work, obviously. Let's skip ahead to the final part. Oh, these ads blockers are... So again, I like that binder clip in there. I mean, it's just the way you have to work, but it kind of really adds that little bit of punch. Here it doesn't look like she's... Oh, she didn't tape it off again. Again, a really nice clean finish, which obviously makes it highly sellable. You can just cut that out and just make a little thing. I don't know if she's just leaving her notebook and she does bigger stuff. And this is only for YouTube, I'm not sure. Let's go into the next painting here. The next one's called Hobbit House Landscape Painting with Gouache. Paint with me. So again, she has a notebook opening, so it's kind of a cool intro. Loading her paints up, see if they're fresh. Here she has her nails clean. Look at those brushes, they're so damn clean. How's that possible? Like none of my brushes look this way. It's like, bro, how's that so clean like that? But her style's very clean too, so maybe it's just kind of self-reflective. You do a clean style, you're gonna have it clean. Here she has the Hemi again. Let's get to the paint part. It's got a really nice intro. I'm just gonna sketch it in. I like this idea of just sketching it in. I usually do a super rough sketch just with the paint, but she's doing a really highly detailed drawing in the background. But I think that's good because you can really bounce off your composition that way. So it's pretty smart. I think what she's doing is getting rid of a lot of the pencil, just leave faint lines by doing that eraser kind of thing. Got really smart, she's taped it off. I think it's a really smart idea to tape it off like way. I don't do it, but I think just seeing the results of how she's keeping the paint on each of the pages and you're not having any of those issues, I think that's a really smart thing to have. All right, let's skip ahead a little bit more, guys, just to kind of get in there. Really nice, different colors, generally not blending, but you know, you have like the yellows, the browns. This area is being blended, but generally she's not blending too much. Just makes for a really nice clean pop when she paints this, I think. I think you can sell this all day like this because it's just really cutesy. You know, people like landscapes and people like cutesy landscapes, so let's skip ahead a little bit more. Music's really nice too. It's very soothing, chill out. A lot of different layering here with the grass to make it really feel like grass or whatever texture this is. Which is always tricky. You can kind of get rid of a lot of the darkness that you might want to keep some of that. So a little bit tricky to kind of figure out where the limit of that is and how much variety you kind of on the layering to make it read right. Like some of that grass looks like it grows right, but some of it looks like it grew out weirdly. Really nicely done. Let's skip further ahead, guys, closer to the end. Again, all this detailing is really adding to the final product. A lot of painters just don't add these final touches, and that really makes the difference. Just, you know, she's added 3-4 layers on those leaves and the bushes. It just makes a huge difference. Most artists probably do 1 layer, and if you do like 5-6 colors and kind of layer back and forth, it's going to look way more realistic. Just with just a little bit more variety of colors than you think you need, that makes a huge difference. You can see here with the grass too, she's doing like 3 colors of green to kind of do the grass. Grass, or I don't know, those are vegetable plants. They don't look exactly realistic the way they're growing, but it's a playful landscape. It's not a realistic landscape, but it's very playful, so I think there's room for interpretation. Very cute. And let's skip to the final scene. It's kind of cool that you can hear the tape pulling up. It gives it that final feel to it. Another great painting. Interesting thing is she doesn't show her spraying this down. It's pretty cute. She only has an Etsy store, which is fine. You can do an Etsy store. So she's selling calendars, prints. So they're prints of her work. I don't think she's doing the originals. But that's pretty smart because all these prices are super reasonable. $3.50. I mean, it's super cheap. It's probably because she's mailing from Turkey, so she's keeping her prices low to be able to compete. Because she might pay like $10 just to get into Europe. So, you know, European artists might be able to charge a little bit more. But these are the prints. I don't see where... I don't see her painting. So, I guess she's just selling the prints. This is in Turkish here on her website. I would do this in English and in Turkish. You can sell in Turkey, but if you put it in English, you can sell it to probably the rest of Europe. And I think that'll increase your sales outside of Turkey. So I think that could help a lot for Maria because there's probably a broader market than just that. Also, I think I might add voiceover a little bit here and there to the videos. I mean, ASMR is a good approach. Obviously, it's very proven. There's tons of painting videos with ASMR with no talking, but I think talking and having a little bit of a headshot kind of introduces you more to the audience. You get a little bit better branding, like, oh, that's that artist, that particular face, I remember it. Whereas if it's not a particular face attached to it, you could be any other artist that looks very similar to your work. You're going to get lost and be like, oh, is it Maria? Is it this other artist? Or is the other cutesy artist? You just don't know because it doesn't stick out with the face. So there's a risk of not showing your face is going to lead to people mistaking your art for other style of art. So that's kind of a, you know, dicey situation. She might want to be very private and trying to, you know, not keeping down, you know, stalkers, which I understand as a female artist, it kind of, you run into that. I mean, I run into stalkers too. But it's usually to try to get money out of me. So it's a problem being a public feature when you're an artist. But, you know, it's like, what are you going to do? That's just the nature of the beast. You know, if you're in business, you have to wear a suit. If you're an artist, you have to deal with the public, right? So, but there's good people in the public that buy your art, and there's bad people that try to take advantage of you. It's just kind of the nature of the beast. But yeah, I'd encourage you. I think it's a really strong artist. It's going to be interesting to see how she develops. If you'd like to subscribe, you can subscribe below. And I'll see you on the next Artist React video. Thanks for watching, guys.